Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again here in my office today to do an update video on the far and away most popular video on my channel, which has to do with how much money you can make on YouTube. So first of all, if you have not yet seen the original video, I definitely suggest you check it out, only because it goes a little bit more in depth and talks about how I come up with these numbers and how you can find them out for yourselves, as well as your other YouTubers that you watch. But that one has a lot more context, and this video is just going to be more of an update from the last one. So to rehash that, last year I made this video, I had roughly 50,000 subscribers, and I ended up coming around $7,000 worth of income from the channel. Now as part of that, some of the things I neglected to really go in depth on that video were things like partnership programs, affiliate programs, shirt sales, apparel, all sorts of things that a lot of people kind of lump in with making money on YouTube. So this video, I will give you a little bit more insight into that part of it. But the reason I really wanted to update you is, like I said, it's been a year and the channel has been growing quite well. So right now we're around 110,000 subscribers. And despite the fact that that video is a year old, it still has far and away the most views on my channel and still gets comments daily, mostly from people wanting to know how they can make money or asking certain questions about Adsense. So I'm not gonna cover about how you actually monetize videos here. If you really wanna find out more, Adsense has a FAQ. You can just search that on Google. You're welcome. So for this video, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to show you exactly how much money I made off of my channel alone over the course of the past 365 days. All right, so I'd actually like to start similar to how I started the last video, and that is by showing you Social Blade first. Now, this is just a site that you can go to track different statistics for any YouTube channel out there. In fact, you can track your own as well by going here and entering your own YouTube username. However, I will say if you have a very small channel and you don't see a lot of views or subscribers, it's very likely that your name will not appear on here just because there's not enough stats for it to actually consistently track them, so be aware. But if you want to check out some of the more popular channels out there, which of course are way more popular than mine, you can go ahead and click their name in here and see exactly what their numbers are. Now for this, I like Social Blade just because it gives you a good overview of everything, and it's a lot cleaner interface than YouTube Analytics, so it's just easy for me to digest. Plus I can go and creep on all those other channels that I watch and make sure that they're not doing as well as me. Gotta really feed my own ego here. But what you see here is my channel name, of course, when my channel was created, so April 2012. I didn't start making videos on this channel more till fall, so we've been up and running for just over 2 years. In that time, 554 videos. You see the subscribers and you see the video views also. It also gives you a grade on your channel based off some stats like subscriber rank, video view rank, and Social Blade rank as well. Now for this, you could actually join through Social Blade if you want to become a partner through them. I'll talk about partnerships a little bit later in this video. I actually wouldn't recommend it. I, of course, would recommend Fullscreen, as that's the company that I'm partnered through. You also see some estimated earnings here, both monthly and yearly, and kind of the reason for the discrepancy between these numbers and such the wide range is because the numbers really fluctuate each day, each week, each month. You're not ever going to see consistencies. It's not always going to be the same amount, so it's really hard to predict, as well as some other factors that come into play also. But here you see some of my numbers over the past couple of days. It tells you exactly how many subscribers you gain per day. It tells you obviously your overall subscriber count, the change in views and total views, as well as your estimated earnings. So on average, I get about 150 subs a day, 20,000 views per day, and earn anywhere from $10 to $82. And I'll break that down in just a little bit. But what I wanted to do first is just compare these numbers to how we were at this point last year. So last year at this time, I averaged about 112 subs a day, so we're about 40 higher. Now this number fluctuates a lot. Earlier this year, it was more up towards 200. So if you have a very popular video, or you get a shout out, or you do a collaboration with other channels, these numbers will generally spike up pretty significantly. However, at this time last year, I also was averaging about 12,000 views per day, so almost double the views per day, which is really significant in my opinion. Now, doing the math of this last year and showing you the numbers, on average, I made around $32 per day, or about $7,000 over the course of the year. And let's really take a look to see where we are now. And to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up my actual YouTube analytics page. So this is something only I have access to. This is over the last 28 days, so this gives you a more real number. So I've earned about $1,300 over the past 28 days, whereas if I go back to Social Blade really quick, it'll say it estimates anywhere from 300 to 2.5. So I'm really right in the middle here, which is fine by me. It gives me a nice round average. It gives you a whole bunch of other statistics, obviously more in depth in this case that Social Blade isn't able to provide, but it still gives you some context of what you're doing. So in this case, $1,300. Let's go ahead and just pull up a quick calculator here. And this is a little bit foreshadowing. If you see the number here, this is where we're going to end up later, and I'll show you how we got there. But let's say we make $1,366 over the course of the last 28 days. So if we divide that by 28 per day, I'm averaging about, let's just round up to $50 a day. So we went from 32 to 50. So again, about $20 more per day in earnings just based off of video views through YouTube. Now, of course, you probably want to see the yearly earnings, so let's go ahead and pull that up as well. So in this case, we're now at a little over 15,000, where again, at this time last year, we were at exactly $7,388. So this is more than double. You also again see all these different statistics that you can see here. So last year I had 50,000 subscribers, and then in the past year I actually gained about 60,000 more. So I more than doubled my subscriber base. So over the course of the past year, based off of strictly YouTube views, I made $15,000. However, there's more to it than that, as you guys already saw with that foreshadowing of 27,000. So let's see exactly how we got there. All right, so for those of you that have seen my initial video or maybe subscribed to me on a consistent basis, you will know from time to time I do sponsorship videos. Now, as part of this, what they are, they're 30-second spots within the video, typically at the very beginning, where I say, hey, this is a sponsored video by so-and-so, go check this out, whether it be a channel, whether it be a product, whatever. And those are usually brought to you by my partnership company. So I'm partnered with a company called Fullscreen. They offer me these advertisement opportunities as a way to generate more income. Now, in most cases, they're in-video advertisements. So again, they're actually embedded within the video. But occasionally you'll also see pre-roll advertisements where instead of seeing, in most cases, Mike Chang before my video starts, you'll see me talking about, again, a similar product or whatever the case may be. Now, for the pre-roll ads, if you have ad block installed, you won't see them. It skips it. It takes them out. The in-video ads are a little bit different because they're actually in the video and I'm just talking to you like I am now. Ad block does not catch them. However, that doesn't mean you can't skip ahead if you really don't want to. And I always try to do you guys the service of saying this is a sponsored video to make sure that you know. Now, for these sponsorships, the reason that I do them is because they're a significant portion of income for me. In fact, over the course of the last year, doing these sponsorship videos, on average probably about 2 per month, has gained me an extra $7,000 in income. So pretty significant portion. And again, most of these are brought to you through my partnership with Fullscreen. So I get a lot of questions regarding this on the other video about why would you join a partnership program? Why don't you just go through Google? Well, to kind of put it out there, partnership programs, they do take a portion of your earnings, typically anywhere from 30 to 20 to 10%, maybe even less, maybe even more, depending on the size of your channel and the actual partnership program. In exchange for that, they give you things to help your channel. The most things that I use is copyright-free music, which you guys hear all the time. So I get all that through my partnership program. That way I don't get flagged for copyright infringement. They offer you other tools in order to improve your videos as well. But probably the biggest thing I take advantage of are these in-video advertisements, or these guerrilla campaigns, as Fullscreen calls them. And again, $7,000 is not really chump change in my opinion. It's a good amount. But I will say I am fairly selective in which ones I pick, so I don't just do every one that comes along. I try to make them somewhat relatable if possible to my channel, and if not, in most cases, I won't actually do them. Now, on top of that, you will also get opportunities from other companies and other marketing firms who want you to talk about their products. They might offer you certain spiffs, discount codes, whatever. In some cases, they might just pay you a flat fee to talk about a product, in which case I did one recently on Shape Up. So I made a couple $100 just to show this game in the first 30 seconds of my video. You'll actually notice that the plastic wrap is still on. So for anyone who caught that in the last time I showed this, good on you. But just simply mentioning it, saying it's available is an easy way, again, to make some extra income. So I will take these up on occasion. But again, I will say I am very selective. Despite what you might think when it comes to this, I get opportunities on a daily basis, but a lot of times I don't want to get involved with having discount codes or affiliate links or things of that nature. So I tend to pass on them quite a bit, but still a significant amount of money comes from these sponsorship programs. And that's one of the reasons why I really like Fullscreen. So if you're interested in joining a partnership program like Fullscreen, I'll actually put my affiliate link in the description box below, because depending on how many subscribers you have, that might actually be another way for me to make income on YouTube. So if you're interested, it's there. Like I said, I made $7,000 off of just doing that last year. So to me, it is definitely worth it. But again, it really comes down to the views, because that's how you're paid. How many times your video is viewed with that advertisement in it. I want to go ahead and show you a common description box for some of my videos for a couple of reasons. Number one, I try to link back all my social media sites where people can follow along with my progress or interact with me if they want to. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Fitocracy, MyFitnessPal. This is a great way to help build your audience and make sure people are seeing when you upload videos, as well as they might happen to share those videos on said platforms, which of course then could up the view count that you get on your videos. Now, I also link Citadel Nutrition and Forged Iron Training. These are two companies that I'm very, very proud of to be friends with, and I really respect what they do. Now, I am involved somewhat with Forged Iron Training in the fact that if you buy one of my Campbell Fitness shirts through them, I do get money. But one of the things I don't do is affiliate codes and discounts and all that other stuff. So I could potentially do that through Citadel and Forged Iron Training. But as it stands, if you go to Citadel and you buy something because you've seen it in one of my videos or you tell them I sent you, I do not get paid for that. Same thing with Forged Iron Training. If you get any of their other t-shirts like the pre-workouts and Pop-Tarts, which seems to be very popular, I don't get paid for that. I just like supporting brands that I'm a fan of. However, for a lot of people out there, these are also huge ways to make tons and tons of income through supplement companies, apparel companies, and whatnot. All right, so another great way to make money on YouTube is by selling apparel. Now, especially if you're a fitness related channel, this can be a huge money generator. Now, for me in the past year, we actually released 3 different t-shirts. So you have the black Campbell Fitness t-shirt, the Murdered Out edition that we did. We also have a gray one as well, same design. And then finally, we also did a tank top. So we released 3 shirts in the past year. Now, for me personally, doing shirts is a little bit different than a lot of other people do, only because for all of these ones, we only did pre-orders only. So we said, hey, we're gonna make this shirt, who wants to buy it? We took pre-orders and then we only made that many. Now this is different because a lot of other people will have a room full of shirts, they'll order hundreds and hundreds, which drive their costs down and increase their profit margins, and they can continue to sell them throughout the course of the year. I don't really like to base myself around apparel sales because I don't know why, just a personal thing with me. I don't like to do a lot of that. But however, that being said, those 3 shirts last year, by selling them, and again, in limited quantities only because we only did a pre-order for like a week for each one, made roughly $5,000 in profits off of that. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat only because I partner with Forged Iron Training, and my boy over there, he does all the work. He does all the actual order taking. He does all the order fulfillment, the packaging, the printing, everything. I just pretty much just throw my name out there and tell you that they're available. So we do a pretty even split just because he does a fair share of the work and I want to take care of him as well. So that number could have been extraordinarily higher. Not to mention, if you have some of these other people out there who are doing tons and tons of shirts, all these big releases, have tons of stock, I can only imagine they're doing a lot better. But again, for me, $5,000 for 3 shirts where it's not really a lot of work and just limited quantities is still pretty decent in my opinion. So there you go. When it's all said and done, that's how I generate money for myself, and that's how much I make on YouTube. Now, if you're good with math and you can put everything together, it ends up being roughly around $27,000 last year. Is pretty significant when I think about it now. I mean, looking at the numbers as they come in each month, as I get my checks, I don't really think it adds up to that much, but when I sat down and really crunched the numbers and looked at it, I was pretty much taken away. Now again, for most, $27,000 isn't a lot of money. To me, that's not enough to make a comfortable living. But again, for me personally, you have to understand that this is just a side hobby. I have a job, a corporate gig that I do very well at, and to have this just as an extra source of income allows me to buy a lot of things and just kind of have a lot of fun money that I probably wouldn't otherwise. And it's really sped up some of my other purchases where perhaps I might have to save or put away for it. YouTube's been a blessing for me in that sense. And it can be for you if you put the time and effort in. Now, obviously it takes time to grow and get there, but just like anything, consistency and patience is really key. Now, however, before I end everything, there's one big thing I have to talk about, because one of the things a lot of people don't take into consideration are things like taxes, and also with partnership programs, again, as I've already mentioned, they do take a percentage of your earnings. So $27,000 is a rough number. When you actually break it down, you're probably gonna look more at like 60 to 70% of that actually coming into my pocket after you take into account taxes and other fees that come along with it. So I hope that gives you some insight. I'll try to do this again next year. Fingers crossed, I'll still be around and still be doing well. I hope this helps answer some questions. If you have some, which I'm sure you will, feel free to ask me in the description and comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, thanks for watching and stay big.